In North Korea, there is a shadowy secret. It's known as the Pleasure Squad. For decades, hardly anyone outside the country even believed it was real. Stories would leak out. Tales of beautiful young women, chosen by the regime, serving the desires of the nation's leaders. These stories, honestly, they sound like something straight out of a movie. But the truth is even stranger and honestly, much sadder than any kind of fiction. The Pleasure Squad isn't something you'll hear about in official speeches. It's whispered about in defectors' accounts and foreign intelligence reports. It's a part of Kim dynasty rule that almost nobody inside North Korea will mention willingly. Even just saying the name is dangerous. Yet, the rumors keep going and every now and then, a defector escapes and brings new details to light. So, why does the regime hide this secret so carefully? Well, it's simple. The Pleasure Squad is built on exploitation and control. It shows just how far Kim family leaders will go to keep power and satisfy their own wishes. It's not only about pleasure, it's about domination. Knowing the truth about the Pleasure Squad isn't just about curiosity. It's about understanding how the North Korean regime uses secrecy, fear, and control. Secrecy, fear, control, even over the most private parts of people's lives. North Korea is a land ruled by secrets. The government, led by the Kim dynasty, works really hard to control every word, every image, and even every thought foreign journalists are almost never allowed in. Ordinary people live in fear of saying the wrong thing. Privacy? It's almost non-existent, and spies are everywhere. This secrecy isn't only about hiding military plans or economic failures. It's about keeping the Kim family's image spotless. Any scandal, any hint of weakness is quickly covered up. The Pleasure Squad is one of the regime's most hidden secrets. It's kept out of textbooks, off the news, and away from public discussion. The very existence of such a group shows just how much power the regime has over people's lives. Young women can be picked out of their homes with absolutely no say in the matter, and forced to serve the state's most private needs. Their families can do nothing. Even neighbors are too scared to ask questions. In North Korea, loyalty is everything. The regime keeps secrets to remind people who is in charge, and to silence anyone who might dare to speak the truth. The Pleasure Squad, known in Korean as Gipyeomjo, was reportedly created during the reign of Kim Il-sung, the country's founder. Some sources say it all began in the 1970s. The goal was simple: to provide entertainment, companionship, sexual services for the ruling elite, especially the supreme leader. Kim Il-sung wanted to show he was above ordinary people. He surrounded himself with luxury, even while his country struggled with poverty. The Pleasure Squad became a symbol of that power. Only the most trusted officials knew about it. For those chosen, it was both a privilege and a curse. The tradition continued with Kim Jong-il, reportedly with Kim Jong-un. Some defectors say it was disbanded after Kim Jong-il's death, before being revived. The group was divided into different teams. Some performed music, some performed dance, others provided personal services. The Pleasure Squad was never meant to be public. It was a secret world, hidden behind high walls and guarded compounds far from the eyes of ordinary citizens. Selection for the Pleasure Squad is not a choice. In most cases, girls are chosen in their early teens. Officials visit schools, they look for girls who are pretty, they look for girls who are healthy, they look for girls who come from loyal families. Loyalty is really important. The regime fears anyone with bad family ties. The process is cold and systematic. Girls are taken for medical exams. Exams look for purity, meaning no prior sexual relationships. They are checked for any signs of illness. If they pass, they are told they've been chosen to serve the supreme leader. Refusing is not an option. For many families, this honor brings fear, not pride. Parents can't protest. Saying no risks punishment for the whole family. Sometimes girls are told they're going to a special school or given a vague reason. The truth comes later. Once selected, girls disappear from their old lives. They are taken to secret locations. They are given new clothes. They are put through months of training. Their futures are no longer their own. Life inside the Pleasure Squad is, honestly, nothing like the glamorous image some folks might imagine. The training is strict. Really strict. Girls learn to sing, dance, serve food. They're taught how to behave around high-ranking officials. Every move is watched by guards. Private moments are super rare. The pressure is intense. Any mistake could bring punishment. They're expected to be cheerful and obedient at all times. Even their thoughts aren't really their own. They're told they're serving the country, not just the leader. Some are forced into sexual relationships with officials, almost never spoken of outside the squad. Some are assigned to entertain at parties. Others are given to top generals as gifts. A few might be kept as personal attendants for the Kim family. The work is exhausting, the fear is constant. Some try to escape. The risk is enormous. Service ends in their early 20s, most are forced to sign secrecy agreements. Some are married off to loyal military officers, others watch for the rest of their lives. The story of the Pleasure Squad is just one window into life for women in North Korea. Across the country, women face strict rules and constant surveillance. Gender roles are, really rigid. Men are expected to serve in the military, while women are expected to support the family and the state. Women who show any sign of disloyalty face harsh punishment. Even small acts like listening to foreign radio can lead to prison. For most, speaking out is, honestly, unthinkable. The government decides where they work, where they live, and sometimes who they marry. Life is especially hard during food shortages. Women are often the first to go hungry so their children can eat. Many are forced to work in dangerous jobs, from factories to farms with little pay. Domestic violence is rarely reported, and justice is hard to find. Despite these hardships, North Korean women show remarkable strength. Some become black market traders, risking their lives to support their families. Others find small ways to resist, even if it's just sharing a forbidden song. Defectors' stories are some of the only windows into the world of the Pleasure Squad. One woman, known as Mi Hyang, described being taken from her school at 16. She was told she had been chosen for a special honor. After months of training, she realized what was expected of her. She felt trapped, but escaping was impossible. Another defector, Choi Yoon-mi, shared how her friend disappeared after being selected. Years later, Choi heard rumors the girl had become a gift for a senior official. No one dared to ask questions. It was like she never existed, Choi told reporters, her voice shaking. Some former members have said that after their service ended, they were watched closely. They were forbidden to contact old friends. They lived with the fear that any word might be overheard and reported. The psychological scars lasted long after they left the squad. These testimonies are rare, but they give a glimpse into a world most North Koreans will never see, and would never want to. The Pleasure Squad is just one example of how the North Korean regime controls its people through fear and secrecy. The government uses surveillance informants, harsh punishment. People learn to hide their true feelings even from family. Secrets are a weapon. Forcing people to live double lives makes it harder for anyone to rebel. Even those who serve the regime at the highest levels, like the girls in the Pleasure Squad, are never truly safe. Trust is a luxury few can afford. This culture of fear affects every part of daily life. Children are taught to report on their parents, workers spy on each other, no one knows who might be listening, real friendship is rare, honesty is rare, suspicion is everywhere. For those who escape, the hardest part is learning to trust again. The scars of secrecy and control last long after they leave North Korea. Learning about the Pleasure Squad forces us to face difficult truths. It's not just a strange footnote in history, it's a symbol of how power can be abused and how secrecy can destroy lives. For the women forced into the squad, the pain and fear are real and lasting. These stories remind us that the world's most closed societies often hide the greatest suffering. Only by listening to survivors, sharing their stories, and refusing to let secrets hide the truth can we hope for change. The Pleasure Squad is a dark chapter in North Korea's history, but it's also a call to remember the human cost of secrets and control, and to stand with those still living in fear.